So, hi all. My name is Christy Aparo. I am the director of the Community Resource Center and Guided Personal Supports Program here at Northeast Arc. Today, our topic is recreation, and we'll have four speakers present on recreation opportunities that they offer within the Northeast region of Massachusetts. I'll start by giving a quick overview of NTCN. Then, our first presenter will be Dana Rybicki, Director of Recreation at Northeast Arc. She will be followed by Stephen Basson, who is the Inclusive City Initiative Director from Special Olympics of Massachusetts. Nicole Henna is the Branch Director of the Merrimack Valley YMCA. And then we'll end our presentations with Steve Robinson, Program Director of Waypoint Adventure. After our presentation, we'll have time to answer all of your questions and talk about upcoming events that we have. So the Northeast Arcs Community Resource Center created the Northeast Transition Collaborative Network, NTCN, in response to gaps in communication and collaboration between school districts, agencies, providers, young adults, parents, caregivers, and community groups. We host monthly virtual sessions about adult services and opportunities in the community, as well as quarterly professional development opportunities for educators on topics related to person-centered transition, and workshops for families and caretakers around the person-centered planning process. Our goal is to unify resources, provide trainings, and create a collaborative space for everyone involved in the person-centered transition process from school to adult services in the Northeast region of Massachusetts. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dana Rybicki. She is the Director of Recreation at Northeast Arc, and will be presenting on the inclusive and adaptive recreation programs that they run, how to sign up, and ways to get involved.
Perfect. Thank you, Christy. I'm Dana. I'm the Director of Recreation here at the Northeast Arc. I have the absolute pleasure of being the Director of Recreation. I get to have fun every single day, and so I'm excited to share all the different fun that we have all the time. All right. So, a little bit about Northeast Arc Recreation. We offer programming all year round. There is no break. The only breaks we have is at the end of June for 2 weeks and around the holidays for 2 weeks in December. Um, we offer a lot of different fun things, and the things that I'll cover today is just an overview of our programming, the different programs that we offer, and how to get involved with us. So we run 6 sessions per year, and they're 8 weeks at a time. So we run Monday through Saturday programming all in the evening hours after 4 o'clock. Our earliest start time, I believe, is 4 o'clock, and we run those during the week. And on the weekends, we have Saturday programming, which is typically in the mornings. Our ages are 16 plus. We range as low as 16 to as high as 70s or so. So we see a little bit of everything, a little bit of everyone. And there is no criteria in order to join our programming. As long as you can access us, you're welcome to join us. There is no criteria on ability, anything like that. We try to hit everybody's interests and try to include everybody because that's what we like to do is include everybody and have some fun. So, like I mentioned, we have weekly programs, we have Friday night activities, and we have Saturday community activities. So our weekly programs meet on a consistent basis, once a week. It depends on the day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are our weekly programs, and those meet after 4 o'clock. Those are typically the same group of people for that 8 weeks at a time. When you sign up for a weekly program, you commit to that 8 week program. Different weekly programs that we have are dance, yoga, cooking, boxing, art, drumming, bowling, gaming club, cooking, golf, little bit of everything. We try to really include a little bit of everything that we can. And if there's ever anything that we are trying to explore, we're always trying to find new things to do and to get everybody included. Our Friday night happenings are our party night, we like to say. Every Friday it's something different. We host dances once a month. We have about 60 people that attend our dances. Every Friday is a little bit different. Last Friday night we did a guided paint night. We've done a fitness night. We've done dances. We do guided. We do guided paints. We do a little bit of everything. Honestly, every Friday is something different, and those change every 8 weeks. So there's never the same thing on a week to session to session basis. The only thing that stays the same is our dances, and other than that, the other six Friday nights change. So we have a lot of different fun, and those run from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday nights. Um, and then our Saturday community activities, those are when we meet at somewhere in the community or within our own space here at the Liberty Tree Mall, which is where we're located. We try to keep within a 20-ish mile radius of Danvers if we're trying to have everybody meet at a location. And if we go outside of that, we will utilize
Jesse Payne joined the meeting.
um, we will utilize Northeast Arc Transportation. Our staff are band certified, so we have taken the vans into Boston to go to the Museum of Science. We've gone up to Lowell to go see a circus. We're going up to Chunky's in Manchester this weekend to go do a movie at a restaurant. That's what Chunky's is. So we do a little bit of everything, and those are our community-based activities, and we really try our best to do those. So we have a lot of different fun all the time. Um, so like I said, there's something for everybody. Um, Christy will, I'm sure, is going to provide this PowerPoint after the presentation. This program information PowerPoint is this program information is a hyperlink. So when you click into that, that will be our program brochure. We have a PDF brochure that has all of our information located within it, and it changes every session based on the activities. So that is our biggest resource that we have to pass along to families, caregivers, schools, all of that kind of good stuff. So our vision, we provide clients of all abilities with an equal opportunity to access meaningful activities through community involvement, intentional recreation, and diverse programming. The Salem Wharf picture is really great. We took the Salem Ferry into Boston over the summertime, and we walked around Boston for the day, took the ferry in. It was a great day to kick off the summer, and we had a lot of fun. We got ice cream. We walked to the Boston Common. It was quite the day, and we haven't heard anything but good things since. So it's been a really great time. We really enjoy all the different things that we get to do and provide opportunities for everybody. No, I went the wrong way. So, how to get involved with us? We have this platform called RecDesk where we track all of our registration programming because all of our registration you must be registered in order to attend. So we have this really great website called RecDesk that you create a profile on it if you're interested in attending. And that profile you'll list all of your information or the client's information that would like to attend. You would complete an intake with us, and so that would be with myself or a member of our full-time team. Get to know us, get to know you a little bit, just so we know what programming you're looking for, and kind of get to know each other and have some fun. And then after that, you'll be able to register for programming. And so our registration opens up every 8 weeks, of course, because it resets. And so always making sure that you are able to hop on and register. We are a very popular programming, and so the thing we always say is wait list, wait list, wait list, because we want to try to include everybody. So even if a program looks full and you have a profile created, always add yourself to the wait list because we try to include everybody and all the new faces that we have. This is our RecDesk website. That's a direct link there. It's a pretty user-friendly platform on some days, but as all websites are, some aren't great sometimes. So that's a little bit about RecDesk, and that's a little bit of an overview about recreation. Yeah. And if you would like to contact us, our email and phone number, all of that. And that is it for recreation. I don't believe I missed anything.
Thank you so much, Dana. The rec program has been such a wonderful program at Northeast Arc and is really growing. So we really appreciate you sharing what you offer for the community in the North Shore. Now we will have Stephen Baston, who is the Inclusive City Initiative Director from Special Olympics of Massachusetts.
Awesome. So I'm just going to share my screen here.
Wonderful. We can
Can we all
see it. Excellent. Yes, we can see it.
All right. So no, that was awesome. We actually do a lot of work with Dana and the sports recreation side of things. So I think this is a good follow-up overall to just dive into what Special Olympics is, how we activate with different partners, but also how we exist in the community. So first and foremost, Terry is also on this call with us. She may chime in here, but she has decades of experience working with specifically the ARC on bringing a lot of these sport initiatives to fruition. And then myself, I am working with Special Olympics to continue that opportunity of just again growing these opportunity or growing these sport initiatives. But simply put, Special Olympics is every day. We're across the entire state, in schools, outside of schools, with agencies and different group homes, different day programs. And we are every age. So we start as young as age 2. And we have some great programs that are for the athletes that are school age. But the majority of our athletes in the community program are young adults or even middle-aged adults. So we really want to make sure that that is as commonly known as our summer games, is that Special Olympics is an opportunity that's available well past school age, and also an opportunity that can evolve with you as you develop in kind of your different interests. But some quick facts: we do city, state, and country delegations. So we are not the Special Olympics Massachusetts doesn't have much involvement with like Special Olympics USA games other than sending a team. We're not really focused on the international games or some of those things you may see most commonly, but rather, again, activating within the many communities throughout just Massachusetts, and specifically for us, this Northeast area. With that being said, we do have over, at this point, 1,000 annual opportunities for competition. So yes, that includes some of the competitive sport leagues that we have and some of the tournaments that we put on, but that also includes some of these 6 to 8 week skill center programs where we're really inviting athletes of different abilities, of different varying interests within the sport to come out, give it a try, be able to develop, and then choose whether they want to continue in a more competitive nature or just continue to use sport as a catalyst for social development and some other things. All of Special Olympics sports are free. So all of our programs, anything you see us hosting or collaborating with somebody on, will be free to the participant. And there's about 23 different programs we offer. So that does change based on the community. Some communities may only offer basketball, flag football, and track. But there's usually a community nearby that is supplementing with some other sport interests. So we, throughout the state, offer 23. You'll probably see closer to 5 programs being offered within any one city. But if you're looking for something that may not be offered right in your neighborhood, you definitely would most likely be able to find it in a community nearby. Most all of our programs are volunteer supported. So our coaches are trained, they're Corian and Soried, they're level 1 certified, and they're kind of drowned in resources when it comes to how to work with athletes with and without different abilities. And we really appreciate kind of what they do, not only for the athletes, but before the organization. And some of those may be siblings. Personally speaking, my older brother is an athlete, so I got involved in the movement, not only as a sibling partner, but also as a volunteer coach. And that kind of is replicated throughout these different communities, whether it's a parent, a friend, or even a coworker for some of our athletes, but different people stepping up. And then I kind of alluded to it earlier, but we do have multiple divisions and levels. And what that means is our adults play with adults, and our children or younger athletes play with their counterparts. Athletes who have trained and gotten to a level that is of more intensity will be competing against each other, whereas athletes who are looking for more of a recreational kind of friendly style of competition or play are also paired with their appropriate counterparts. So you may be at a Special Olympics event where everybody is getting an opportunity to shoot, score, give it a try. And then you may also experience an event or a game where athletes have been training for almost decades to be at that level and be at that point. So there's that intensity, and we offer both, we support both. And that's definitely something that I think, again, one of those things we want to continue to make people aware of, that you don't have to know sports, right? To get involved in inclusive sports. You really just have to be willing to try and be looking for community, and we can take it from there. The only other thing in here, or actually I can move to the next one because it's in here, but we do work with schools. So we have about 500 different schools. You, your child, the athlete you're working with may have attended a school that has Special Olympics ingrained in it. And that's really a great opportunity for families to learn what inclusive sports are before somebody transitions into fully community services. But just to reiterate, Special Olympics is different than some other adaptive sport programs or even the Paralympics in that our athletes are people, or the people we consider athletes are the ones who have intellectual disability and or autism. And then the people that we consider partners would be their peers who do not identify with an intellectual disability or autism. So most of our sports settings are unified, meaning that it's a playing field or a roster consisting of both. And I would like to just kind of reiterate the fact that the athletes are the ones who identify, the partners are the ones who don't, but both are participating members of these sports. So partners are not out there coaching necessarily the athletes, but more so playing alongside and developing with them. And then back to that kind of point I made earlier, but we do start at early age. We are within the schools, but a huge amount of our athletes across the state are that 35 to 45-year-old range. And they see incredible physical health benefits, but also social benefits of being a part of the team, finding community within there, and then supplementing that with other social services that may be available from that community. So that's something that we really have seen benefit, again, not only families, but also agencies and different organizations we've partnered with. I'm using a few different words that you guys may not be familiar with. So just to clarify, what is Special Olympics? So yes, it's basketball, it's soccer, it's flag football, it's track and field. But really what it is we offer skill centers. And those skill centers are 6-week programs that meet once a week in an appropriate sports space. So if it's basketball, it's in a gym. If it's track, it's at a track. If it's bocce, it's kind of at a bocce court, or we kind of make that happen. But those skill centers are really opportunities for anybody of any level to come and play in a more introductory setting. So there isn't games being played. There isn't an expectation of you knowing the rules or the athlete or the partner understanding the rules. It's really a good opportunity to kind of get involved in a new sport or to continue developing in a current sport that may not be offered in that season. With that being said, a lot of those skill centers, that next step is getting involved in a little bit more of our recreational style of play. So those are instances where you may be playing against teams or athletes from other communities, but it's kind of jamboree style. So you're playing multiple games where everybody is being rewarded for their participation and bravery versus people qualifying to move on to other kind of events or games or leagues. And then with all that being said, and then that's probably what most people know Special Olympics to be, but we do have a pretty large, more or less club model where we have different communities that identify as a team. So there may be a Lynn basketball team, there may be a Peabody soccer team, there may be a Saugus flag football team, and they practice weekly like any other team would within their community. They have a coach, assistant coach, and then Special Olympics helps to provide the resources of a schedule, league play, whether that means we're going to play once every other week or we're going to have a qualifying tournament and then move on to something that's more statewide, and then any other resources. So the actual sports equipment, the jerseys, and those things. So again, there's multiple ways to be involved in Special Olympics. It's not one of those, or we're moving very much away from the idea that you have to know a sport already to get involved, and really providing more opportunities for those who are just interested in being a part of something physically active and in their community. The only other thing on here that I will mention is that a lot of our programs are after school, so that 4 p.m. and after time during the week or the weekends. And again, that's really more to reflect our end goal of it being a community program and it kind of aligning with the schedules and the culture of these other sports programs that occupy the community. So just like any other baseball league or youth basketball league would practice weekly and have games on weekends, we try to mimic that to give that same opportunity to families. Um, with all that, or that moving on, I kind of dove into this, but again, we do have multiple ways to get involved. I don't know if there's any of the youngest on here, but we do have a program specifically for those 2 to 7 year olds that focuses on gross motor skills, fine motor skills. The idea is if they focus on that for the first 5 years of development, they'll be ready for some more organized kind of participation within our other opportunities as they get older. And then the never-ending sports skill centers and competitive sports, meaning that they're year-round. There may be basketball in the summer and the winter. There may be football inside in the winter, because that's what the community is looking for. But you can find all of those opportunities online. So I put the QR code here, but I also wanted to see if I can share this. Oh, and it's not going to let me. But if you go on our website, it's pretty easy to navigate. If you go right over to get involved, you can fill out a form and we'll send you different opportunities that make sense with your interests. Or you can go right online and similar to how other recreational programs have theirs set up, you can register and start to get that information to be able to show up and get involved right away. Um, I don't think I have anything else that usually comes up, but if there are any questions, please feel free to. I'll put my email in the chat. We also have a few general emails that are monitored by different staff, and that can be, hey, I'm really looking for soccer in East Boston and can't find it. It can be, hey, I'm an athlete who's 35 years old and really looking to get involved in something more health conscious. But we definitely are able to kind of find probably just about anything you need or even point you in the direction. So what I mean by that is, again, a lot of Northeast Arc and what they do and what we do with other agencies is layered in the sense of we're able to support them just as much as they're able to support us. So between the two of us, the three of us, or however many people are involved, we are usually able to bring to life a free sports opportunity. So Terry, I don't know if you're on here and want to add anything at all, but I will leave it at that. I'll leave it on this in case you guys do want to send this QR code out. But I'm sure we'll follow up with a flyer that has more clickable links for those that are looking to use that means of access.
The only other thing I wanted to add, which Dana neglected to mention, but the Northeast Arc is our largest partner program in the Northeast. So they have a huge Special Olympic program. It's a little separated from recreation. I mean, it's under recreation, but I think that's an important piece of this. We partner with a lot of agencies to do our work and carry our mission. So we work with the YMCA's, we work with ARCs, and we like
BCCs, Boys
to,
and Girls Clubs.
yeah, Boys and Girls Clubs. So I think some of our programs are community based and are run by mom and pops in the community, but many are under an organization so that when an individual leaves, the whole program doesn't leave. So I just wanted to mention that.
That's great. Thank you so much, Terry. And thank you, Stephen. Our next presenter is going to be Nicole Henna, and she is the branch director of the Merrimack Valley YMCA. Nicole, you might still be muted. Oh, there you go.
Can you see my screen okay? No, wait.
We can now, yes.
There we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having us today. It's my pleasure to be here today. So my name is Nicole Henna. I am the executive director of the Andover North Andover YMCA, which is a part of our Merrimack Valley YMCA Association. Jessica Borges, our inclusion coordinator, is really the expert in all of the programs that I'm going to tell you about today. But she wasn't able to be here today, so it's my pleasure to share what I know. I've only been in my role for about 3 months, so I'm really very much so learning what we're doing here at our Y to support our various communities. But Jess has set me up with some slides, and I'm going to share a little bit about what we have going on at the Y. All right. So, what does inclusive programming mean to us? We have programs that are designed to include all individuals of different backgrounds, abilities, and identities. We go beyond facility compliance and really focus on belonging. So, we do that through peer-to-peer support, celebrating personal achievements, reaching goals. We work with caregivers and families to support our individuals if and as needed. And we make sure that we're doing some community building events as well, in addition to the programs we offer. And this really just aligns with our YMCA's mission of for all. We really want to make sure that this is a safe, welcoming space for anyone and everyone who wants to be a part of some of the programs that we do. One of the ways historically that we've been able to offer a lot of our programs is through some grants and partnerships through various foundations, the Tower Foundation, the J.W. Aldrin Trust, Flutie Foundation, of course, our friends at Special Olympics. But we have seen a huge decrease in funding that's available to us here at the Y. So we got about 50% less this year than we got the previous year, just in general, collectively from our various trusts and grants. So while some of the foundations have temporarily frozen some funding as they're sort of adjusting to things, we hope that unfreezes, first of all, so that we're able to offer our programming at no cost as much as we possibly can. But we do put a big value in continuing the programs as much as we can while we're sort of sensing out where funding lands. So in order to cover our essential administrative costs, we do have some modest fees for our programs. Some of them depends on the program, but we at the YMCA do offer financial assistance for those who need support. So even though there is a modest fee for our clubs and programs, if that is out of the range, we invite everyone to talk to us about it and apply for financial aid to see how we can support you there. All right. So our partnership with Special Olympics is one that we love and cherish and celebrate all the time. So coming up, we've got a pickleball fall session. Pickleball is like huge and happening here at the Y. There's so many passionate pickleball players. And we're excited to offer a program at no cost to our athletes who want to play through the Special Olympics partnership. And then we do a powerlifting session as well. So that'll be coming up in the spring. So we're really excited to continue that partnership and see what we can do and how we can continue to support athletes with those particular passions in our community. And those programs are offered at no cost to the individuals who join us. Some other Y programs that we have are largely these programs are available for folks who are ages 15 and up, with the exception of one of our swim programs. So this year, the Merrimack Valley Y is launching a new program initiative, and we're moving to a club model. So all of these are going to be offered as monthly clubs. So you can sign up for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, keep going as they're offered, or you can join one and then switch to another. So there's a lot of flexibility for families and for participants to plan their schedules as it meets their needs. So we will have pickleball, a cardio class, Stronger Together, powerlifting, spin, Y Abilities swim lessons, and another powerlifting offering. So right now, all of our programs are very wellness based, get people moving and grooving and working on healthy lifestyles. So all of those will be on our website. I've heard a lot of our websites user friendly. Ours is not right now, but we are getting a new one. So stay tuned if you're interested in learning more or any of these offerings and getting on a list to make sure once registration opens up, we can do that. I would just recommend you email Jessica. She's our inclusion coordinator. You can check out our website, see what we've got listed on there now, call our front desk, but really I would recommend just email Jess and she'll be able to sort of point you in the right direction or make sure that you're on a list of folks that are interested once everything officially launches. This October is when we're launching our new club series. So I apologize for not being the full expert. I wanted to give you a little sampling of what we have going on here at our Y. I think something else that's really important to know is that we're always really interested in listening and learning more as to what's not happening in our community and where is there an interest and how can we support maybe offering something new and different. So please reach out to Jessica with any ideas or myself. I'll throw my email in the chat as well. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to working with everybody a little bit more.
If I could just add one more thing to that, because we've been working with Jess also, Nicole, too. You guys are going to be a pilot site for us for our new sport of floorball, which is a mixture of floor hockey and something else. Don't ask me what it is, but
It's just floor hockey.
what?
That said, it's just floor hockey with
Floor
a
hockey,
ball
but
instead of a puck. Yeah.
yeah. So we've been working with Jess. We're very excited about that because she's going to be a pilot site for us for people to come. So that would be another opportunity for athletes to come and check out a new sport we're offering.
Yes, thank you for adding that in, Terry. I forgot about floorball. It's coming soon.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That was so wonderful. I also did just want to mention, this is out of the age range of transition, but if you know somebody who is involved with early intervention through Northeast Arc, we have partnered with the local YMCA's to offer free swim lessons to all who receive early intervention. So again, I know it's outside of the transition age, but a lot of you may know somebody who is involved in early intervention and could really benefit from those. Next, but last but not least, we have Steve Robinson, the director of Waypoint Adventure.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Steve.
I am gonna try to navigate this. I'm not used to Zoom. I use Teams often. So I see the button that says share.
Yep, you got it.
I
And
do
if
have
not, I have
video at the
your
end.
slides up, so I can always add those on.
Okay, there's a small 1 minute video at the end. I want to make sure. Oh, it says share sound. I see that. Okay. There we go. I think I got this. Oh. Hold on, it's making me put a password in.
Perfect. We can see it.
Okay. Now hopefully you still see it once I hit present. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, great. Okay, I'm here to talk about Waypoint Adventure, something I love, I'm very passionate about. My name is Steve Robinson. I'm the program director, and I've been at Waypoint for a little over a year. I've been doing adaptive outdoor adventure for almost 15 years. Moved here from Utah. So anyways, talk a little bit about, well, that's me. So quick objectives for today. Who are we? What is Waypoint Adventure? I'll highlight our programs and how can you get involved? Pretty simple. Our tagline is freeing what's possible. We do almost 300 programs a year. Some years it's a little more, some years it's slightly less, but we average 300 outdoor adventure programs a year, and that's mainly in the Boston region, with a few exceptions where we might go up into Vermont. We might go up to New Hampshire to do an overnight program. We have a few sort of high adventure things, but the 99% of what we do is right in the Boston area. It isn't disability that holds people back. It's the barriers and prejudices that others put up. And we embody this and believe this. And through the use of outdoor adventure, we feel like we are able to assist people to discover their purposes and talents and strengths through the transformative power of playing outside together. So here's what we do. We do a lot of outdoor kayaking. This is one of our biggest, most popular programs. We're in the thick of kayak program season right now. We wrap up in mid-September. But these are the ones that have wait lists and everyone's trying to get into. We do have some spots still yet available, but it's just fun. We go all over the place in various waterways of Charles River, lots of different reservoirs, and we are very selective about going to various locations so that different regions around the Boston area can feel like it's accessible to them. They don't have to drive too far or take transportation too far to get there. During the colder months, because kayaking is so popular, we actually partner with several indoor pool locations around the city and around the region to do indoor kayaking. And it's a great way it's super accessible, and it's a great way for people who might not feel ready to go kayaking outdoors at a big reservoir around the Charles River to experience it in a more contained and safe environment. We run hiking programs all throughout the year, including the winter. We right now we offer about 2 to 3 hiking programs per month. This picks up in the fall, slows down in the winter, and gets really popular again in the spring. We usually do 3 to 4 backpacking trips. These are overnight backpacking trips. Often 1 or 2 are out in New Hampshire, and then the majority of them still stay here in this state, in Massachusetts. And these are open enrollment, meaning anyone of a certain age and criteria with a disability can enroll in these programs. In the wintertime, we do cross-country skiing and snowshoeing out at the Weston Ski Track in Newton. That's really fun and also is quite popular. Outdoor rock climbing. There's some really cool and accessible areas in Boston. And we do 3 different areas, one in Newton, one in Quincy, and one up in Malden. And so in the fall, spring, and sporadically throughout the summer, it's a little hot in the summertime. Indoor climbing we do year round. We have really great partners at gyms all around the region. This is one of our most popular and biggest programs that we do because we can do it at any time indoors. We're not dependent on the weather. And it's a pretty accessible sport. Cycling. Cycling is typically tandem bikes. We have a wide variety of adaptive bikes, as well as your standard typical upright bikes, and a trained staff and volunteers to support. You can see some of the pictures here. We have recumbents and mixed use tandems, but the whole goal is to get people out riding bikes. And we do this 1 to 2 times per month. And we typically go all the way from March and through November. We do ropes course programming with our partners down at Hale and a few times up in Beverly with Project Adventure. And this is our lower coast, like team building and group dynamics program. This is something that we can do offsite or at a specific location, or we can use the low ropes course at Hale. So we do custom team building programs as well. All of our programs are experiential education focused. We use the power of adventure, but we weave in goals and educational components. Not to mention, all of our programs are in a group setting. So we're learning together, and there's always this sort of team building component. There's a social component. So every program that we do, 300 a year, there's always a goal. We set those goals, we experience it in real time, and that can be things like communication, belonging, teamwork, independence, setting your own goal and achieving it together in a group, teamwork. We have hundreds of them, but we weave those into the experience as we go hiking or climbing or cycling, and we have reflection exercises. And then how can we take what we learned on the adventure program and apply them into our life? And so that's our programming model. We also weave in this idea of finding your challenge zone. Living inside your comfort zone is good, but where growth really takes place is when you get pushed into that, out of your comfort zone and into that challenge zone. We do not like to get people into the panic zone. So that sweet spot is challenge. That's where growth happens, but we stay safe. And we do a lot of work to make sure that we all stay safe. And we also talk about how this ripples out into the community. So where an individual might experience something, then they can invite their family out, and the community and society. This is something that's really important and weaved into all of our programs. How can people get involved? We have our website is the best way, and we've shared it here, and I'll also share it in the notes. Open enrollment programs are our largest category of programs. Open enrollment literally means what it says. Anyone can sign up as long as you have a disability. Many of the programs do ask for, some of them even require a PCA to attend. That can be a parent, that can be anyone who's an adult, who's a guardian. Not always. but all of that is navigatable through our website, and we have open enrollment programs throughout the year. The other type of program we do is our custom group programming, which we do the same program types like climbing, hiking, kayaking that we do in open enrollment, but we'll close it off to a custom group. So that may be a camp or a YMCA or a school throughout the year. And we will customize the event and activity to your group's needs. We list out the group fees here as a request, but we do have grant funding that offers us the capacity to subsidize the group fees. So this is just an entry point, and all of this stuff is a conversation. So we'd love to hear from you. If you're interested, we can work with you on these costs. The last thing we offer is equipment rental. In this picture, you see a snapshot of some of our hiking chairs, our hiking wheelchairs, our off-road wheelchairs. But this is only a small group snapshot of what we actually have in our gear shed, which includes bikes and climbing gear and all kinds of stuff, camping gear. We don't want to just use them on our program. We want to encourage families, individuals to become independent and use these on social occasions, and they can rent them and check them out for themselves and to foster that independence. So that's another way to do that. Another way to get involved is through our volunteering program. Many of our participants of transition age who have been on our programs enough times, they've come out and are now volunteering and assisting. Some of them are even paddling their own kayaks to support. They've gone through safety trainings with us. So we have all types of volunteers. And I just open up any questions there. We have a full suite of social media accounts that we can also look us up on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And I'll just wrap up with a very short video in hopes that this works. Let's see. Whoops. Let's go back to it. So the play button is in the same exact spot of the previous slide. There we go. Oh, I can't do it. It's okay.
If you make your screen small again, you might be able to get it up.
Nope, there we go.
There.
Nice, Katie! I always say nice beer! Yeah, you got it, dude. Woo! Julia, you having fun? Yes, Ryan! John Reed.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. What a great
Thank you.
video. That was awesome. All right, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Carrie Neenan. She is our community resource specialist in the North Shore, and she's going to facilitate our question and answers.
All right, thank you to all our presenters. It was a great kind of cross section of fun things to do for people with disabilities. So As Christy said, we have some time for Q&A, so if anybody has any questions, feel free to just pop them in the chat, or if you can't access the chat easily from your phone, feel free to just raise your hand on Zoom or unmute and ask your question, and we'll get you answered. While we get a couple questions hopefully coming in from people, I will just ask Steve, I know you mentioned that you could do school trips or groups with schools. Can you just talk about that a little bit? Because we do have a lot of educators on this network and hopefully on this call. So I'm just curious how those school trips work and what that kind of looks like.
Yep, we work with several school districts, Sudbury, Boston Public Schools, some private schools. There's a huge list, but we contract with them to run a bunch of the programs that you saw. Several of the challenge course things that you saw in the video were school groups, and it can be different grades. We work with Umana, who's a group of kindergartners and first graders. Our education director oversees all of the school groups. That's Eileen Turpin. So if that does interest you, reach out with the information that we provided here, and I can put you in touch with Eileen. And we're always looking to work with more schools. I don't know if that answers it, but
yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, I think it would be a great option for schools to get involved with. So yeah, I mean, definitely, if anybody's thinking about that, get in touch with Steve, and he can connect you with information about that.
no, thank you for that.
I have one question from someone asking about programs available for middle school ages. So I'll just kind of open that up to the group. I think the Merrimack Valley Y, you guys had a swim program for ages, I think it was 8 to 14. Do you guys have many other programs available for that middle school age?
Not right now, just that swim class would start on the younger side.
Okay. And Steve, for Waypoint, what's kind of the age range for your programs?
Yep. So we kind of use the term 7 to 77, and that's even loose. 7 kind of is our general cutoff, but it depends on case by case. So we definitely work with middle school aged all the way up to seniors. Just depends. And it can be in our custom group format, or it can be in the open enrollment format. And if you are interested, I think the best way to get some of is kind of do a call with us, like an interest call with myself, and I can help place and navigate the best fit for what your group, whether it's a middle school group or middle school age, it could be a family. We can help you get enrolled in your first program at Waypoint. I think just reaching out directly would be the best way.
And then Stephen, for Special Olympics, I know there's the young athletes from 2 to 7. What is kind of the age range for programs in between, like that's age 7 and adults? Like, do you generally have like certain age brackets for Special Olympics programs, or is it just kind of like 8 and up or 12 and up? How does that work?
So the sports and recreational, anytime there's like any, I guess, playing happening, it's 8 to 15, 16 to 22, 22 plus, and then we also have a senior division. Our skill centers are a lot more encompassing, so it may say 8 to 22, and then the gym will be split when they get there accordingly. But more or less, it's 2 to 7, 8 to 12, 12 to 15, 16 to 22, 22 plus. So first and foremost is age and safety, then is skill level though. So there may be a 15-year-old where skill level and development, they're a better fit with maybe a younger group. And as long as there's no safety concerns there, that's something that we would allow. But yeah, it is divvied out by age. It isn't just 8 plus, but there may be opportunities that say 8 to 22. Just know upon arrival or when we actually start the program, it would be grouped as most appropriate as it should be.
Okay. And then Dana, just to check in with you, so Northeast Arc I know is generally 16 plus, right?
Correct. We have majority 16 plus. Our Special Olympics teams do have our Special Olympics team through the Northeast Arc have a juniors team. That is about that 8 to 15. And then we are looking into the option of expanding for that middle school age, depending on interest and staffing. So it's a possibility. And like Steven said, with his safety and ability and stuff, we occasionally open up to that 14 age range for the weekly programs, depending on who's in the program and their ability levels, which is why we complete the intake to determine if it would even be a good fit to have somebody as young as 14 with our group.
And I will just mention too, for those younger ages, looking at family support centers too is a good option. It's not so much like organized sports, but there are opportunities for, I know Northeast Arcs Family Support Center does like, days at Sky Zone during school vacations and things like that. So if you're looking for those younger ages, that's another option.
I just also want to mention, I know this is more transition focused, but we have a fantastic young athletes program through Merrimack College. They've been doing it probably, gosh, at least 10 years. And they do a fall and a winter and a spring session. It's obviously unified, inclusive, but it's really a great, and they have both levels, like the 2 to 7, I mean the 2 to 5 and the 5 to 7s. So that's just something if in your travels, if you're talking to any families with young athletes, it's a really good program and it's not too far away. And the students have a club on campus, they do it all. It's really a good model program.
Question for Nicole. Someone said that they had experience doing the pickleball and cardio classes, and they're just wondering if you guys have thought about adding more things during school days. They'd love to see a yoga or a swim class during school
We
days.
are talking about yoga. We're trying to get that onto our schedule. We're working on recruiting staff for that. And swim is totally possible. We're working on getting more and more of our swim instructors angelfish certified so that we have more instructors on our team that are able to teach those swim lessons. So as we're able to get more people certified, we're able to expand our days and time offerings. But yoga, we're really working on that one right now. So hopefully there's a quicker turnaround and seeing that. So thank you for adding that in, Kate. And I'm glad you enjoyed the other classes. Maybe email that to Jess too, so that we don't forget about it. And any other thoughts or ideas or requests or dreams we can try and make come true. We're always interested in what are you all looking for and how can we try and make that happen.
All right. I don't see any other questions in the chat. Does anybody on the line want to just come off mute and ask a question?
Terry, it's Rebecca Anderson. I have a
Yeah.
quick question for Dana. It's kind of a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. If you have a child that's, 16, 17 that wants to join rec for like the Friday nights or the Saturdays, but because of their social interactions, they're very nervous about getting started. Once they get started, their, parents know they're going to do great. But that initial intake piece and agreeing to sign up, all of that part is very overwhelming. How do you handle the intake process with a student that is so perfect for the program, but so scared to talk to you, even though, everybody knows they're going to do great once they get started?
That's a really great question. I see a lot of those when I complete the intakes. And with the intakes, I complete a majority of them. Jocelyn and Tara, my other full-time staff, complete them as well. We use stories about ourselves as as we're working the programs and making sure that whatever program they're interested in, one of us is on site for their first arrival at a program to introduce them and facilitate those new social interactions and introduce them to people that we think would be a good fit. And so then we have seen somebody that's really nervous to join, but knowing that they have a familiar face when they're attending a program for the very first time, we have found is very important. And so like say I did an intake on a Tuesday and the first day is that Friday, I will be there at the door on that Friday to bring them into the space, give them a tour of the space if we conducted an intake via Zoom or Teams or whatever, give them a tour when they first get there and show them and introduce them, show them a space where if they're really overwhelmed, they can take some time to like calm down in a separate space. We just really work hard with the intakes is getting to know the clients so that when they join, because we have so many great people that we can pair them appropriately with the best peers so that we know that they have the same interest and be able to have those positive social interactions. And we always invite like parents, caregivers, and whoever is attending with the client, if they would like to stay for that very first night to kind of like hang out in the space if somebody's feeling really nervous, that they're more than welcome to do so, just so that the client who's very nervous about attending has their safe person to go to if they're feeling really overwhelmed.
Look, that's exactly the answer I was hoping you were going to give. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I don't see any other questions. I will just mention too that when we have these calls, like this is just a small sampling of opportunities that are out there. So, Christy's going to go through some things, but our community resource team, we really worked hard on putting together a pretty detailed resource guide. And I think particularly for this event today, this resource guide will really be just a good living document for people to have for reference. And we're hoping to, kind of keep it updated too. We just tried to pull all different opportunities that are available throughout Northeastern Massachusetts, as well as more unique opportunities in the Boston area. So, there's everything from dance studios that offer adaptive lessons to, adaptive sailing and, culinary programs and, really all different things, all different sports opportunities, gyms that offer inclusive fitness opportunities. So we hope that this will be a good resource for families and for educators and everyone else just to have on hand if families are asking questions about, kind of what's out there in their area. So, so if nobody has anything else, I'll hand it back over to Christy.
Just a quick question. Is that on your website or anything, this guide?
Yep. So it'll be emailed out to everyone
Oh,
that signed
great.
up for this program after the program recording is all set, probably tomorrow. And then we also post it on our ecommunityconnections.org website. So all of our calls for this Northeast Transition Network, as well as the resource guides, are posted on that website under the resource section.
Thank you, Carrie. Yep, so here's a link to the eCommunities Connections, our resource guide that you'll see once you get the email. Just click on the PDF of it and it will pull right up. As Carrie mentioned, we have multiple resources on there. Our next NTCN session is going to be September 30th. It will be another virtual session from 10 to 11 a.m. And our topic will be collaborations between schools and caregivers. We're really looking forward to this event. And then if you are a teacher, please keep an eye out in your emails for sign up for our professional development in October. This is going to be held at UMass Lowell. We have outgrown our Northeast Arc space. Last time in May for our professional development, we had about 60 teachers join us. We have outgrown that space, so we're going to host it in a different region as well, so we can make it easier for traffic-wise for people in the Lowell area. So keep an eye out for our professional development in October as well. And I would like to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you to our presenters. You all run fabulous programs, and we're really excited for everyone to be able to experience these. So thank you again to everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.